Hello, this is all my people. Say hi, people.
Hello.
And today I will be showing you the electronic media kit presentation of Bizarre Little Star Studios. So, a little bit about the company history. It was started by a college art student who eventually he just decided that school wasn't teaching him enough about art history, maybe how art is managed, but not the creation of art. So in doing so, she decided to venture out and actually start creating art, because everyone she talked to always said it's better to get this done sooner rather than later. So it started with a couple of simple builds of animals, just like foxes and red pandas, but it then branched out to other different animals such as bears, rabbits, horses, ferrets, which are very popular, and custom orders of all different varieties. All are handmade using synthetic fur and cruelty-free products whenever it comes to things like feathers or whatnot. And we have featured international shipping. We have sold basically down the street, I mean, if you consider Spokane down the street. And I believe we have also shipped to Germany. So there's a large market. So the purpose of Bizarre Little Star Studios is the company motto is bring a little magic into your life. And that's because, especially most adults nowadays, we just kind of go through the motions. We just get things done because we have to do it. And we're trying to reinvigorate that passion for creativity and just enjoying something for kind of what it is, for, you know, seeing the magic in little things. And that's really what we aim to do here. And in doing so, in trying to achieve this, we do handmade, realistic, unique pieces to fill the adult niche of stuffed animals, because I'm sure all of us had a stuffed animal or something when we were younger. You know, it's just something we latch onto. I even have a good fair couple in my room right now from when I was a child, because it just means so much to you, and we're trying to essentially get that same reaction with an older audience. And overall, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to highlight the necessity and innovation that both small businesses and artists bring to the community and the world. Because both of these things, I feel, we're told in our society that it's important, but it's never actually pursued to be important. And in having a small business that is mostly focused about someone creating crafts with their hands, I feel that that is what we're trying to highlight. All right, so the creative process for creating one of these pieces, it starts with an idea. It starts with, hey, I want to make a ferret or a red panda or a horse. So you get that image in your mind, and then from an idea, we turn it into a sculpt. I have one right here of a red panda head that you can all pass around. And this is done by basically looking at photos meticulously using a hard type of clay and just adding and smoothing and sculpting as need be to get the accurate representations of the facial features. From the sculpt then turns into a mold. Now, this mold was not the sculpt of the red panda, as you might be able to see, but you'll get the same idea. We use a flexible two-part silicone mold to pour resin into, which we create a negative from the sculpt, and then we can pour resin into to recreate that in a more lightweight and recreatable fashion. From that mold, we turn it into a base. What we have here is a red panda with its basically wire frame, which this here is actually a hydraulic fluid tubing, but it's actually used very well in the recreation of armature. And then we also just put wire around here and created basically the base body of what will soon later be a red panda. From that, the base turns into a finished product. Now, you might be able to guess that this, in fact, is not a red panda, but it is the final product of all of the stage accumulating into a realistic, posable, lifelike ferret. And everything about it is bendable. Its tail, its legs, even its mouth is posable in an open or closed fashion. So, frequently asked questions. What is a posable art doll? It's basically what the name sounds like. It is just a recreation of something you see in real life, except in a doll made by an artist. Quite self-explanatory. So, do we use real fur? We get this question quite a lot, and we don't use any real fur in this. It's all synthetic, it's all cruelty-free. In honoring the animal, we would not want to use an animal to make a fake animal, essentially. How expensive are the dolls? That ferret you're looking at right there, I believe, is going for about $200, which they are definitely the most popular seller that we have. We also have foxes, horses. Like, we have a unicorn build right now that will sell for about $400, and commissions can go anywhere above that depending on what they're getting. We have some commissions that are $200. We have some commissions that are $600. So it really just depends on what you get and what you want out of it. How long does it take to make a doll? Generally, from the start process, not including the sculpt, it takes about 2 weeks start to finish to make the doll, because there are waiting times for the resin to dry, there are waiting times for the clay to dry that attach the legs to the body. All the fur is hand sewn on, which is a very meticulous process. The face and the feet are furred very individually, which take great time and meticulous care. The fur is airbrushed, so it takes about 2 weeks. If we're starting completely from scratch, including the sculpts, it can take upwards of a month. And where can we find Bizarre Little Star Studios and their products? You can find us on Facebook /Bizarre Little Star. You can find us on Twitter with the same thing, and you can find us on Etsy with the same title. The pitch for the company is essentially, we love our furry friends, and we try to bridge that gap between the stuffed animals of our past and real animals that we know and love. And we offer international shipping and custom orders, and you can find us both at local and regional expos, or you can always find us online at those links. So, in our news release, we begin by reminding our audience to keep a little magic in their life. And we also announced our spring sale on Etsy, which is 20% off of all of our merchandise, both already made and made to order, and 20% off of custom commission price, which when you're talking about a $500 sale adds up to quite a bit. And we end with wishing the audience to follow us as we grow and move forward. And you can see from some of the photos here of just what we've created, how we've done, just some of the examples of our work. We also had a video news release, which was a 30-second long presentation of me holding a little bunny and just recapping what we said in our spring sale. So, in conclusion, we've told you about the company history and the purpose of our company. We've told you about what our creative process is. We answered some frequently asked questions that we get. We've covered the pitch, we've covered the news release, and we covered the video presentation. And that is Bizarre Little Star Studios. Yes, everybody clap. It fuels me.
I'd clap.